What is going on, everybody? It is Big L here, and today, as you can see from that fire intro and this fire logo in front of you, we are back in the YCL VGC League for Season 2. That's right, the defending champion is here. We are back in draft, back content creating, and I know I've said if you've been around me for a little while, I know I've said I'm probably not going to play Pokemon again until Gen 9. Well, this was the one thing. This was the one thing that I said. If they brought it back, I would come back before Gen 9. Got to defend that title. Got to show the people in the YCL some love. So, specific shout outs to Sen for coming back from his break, his Pokemon break, getting things in the YCL back up and running. Shout outs to Arts for taking over the commissioner duties for the YCL VGC League. And I know that I think Bishmi and Sosa have been helping him get things started up in there. So shout outs to them as well. But yeah, we are back in the YCL VGC League. I'm really, really excited because I missed it. I love playing VGC. VGC is something that I really, really enjoy. I've always thought VGC was more fun than singles. Always. And yeah, really excited. We have a pretty good team. We had the 4th pick overall. Nothing broken fell to us this time, unfortunately, because I'm pretty sure 4th is where we picked last time. Pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we had the 4th pick last time as well. But unfortunately, nothing broken fell to us this time. Excuse me. The first 3 picks were Kyogre, Groudon, and Cali Shadow. I was really hoping one of those 3 would fall. Just because, you never know. Sometimes someone really wants to use a staple, something like Incineroar, something like Regieleki. Or there's a specific restricted they want to use. So they don't take one of those broken Pokemon, which is perfectly understandable. Absolutely. But, unfortunately, in my opinion, the 3 most broken Pokemon in the format were the first 3 picks. But that's fine. Perfectly understandable. Means we get our pick of the Tier 1 staples. So, I was looking at them. I was looking at things like, like I said, Incineroar, Regieleki, things like that. But I was like, you know what? I've never used this Pokemon before. I really want to try it out. And that is Rillaboom. Rillaboom is a very, very good Pokemon in VGC. Terrain is very strong in VGC. Grassy terrain, very, very good ability. This is a very good Pokemon. Good stats. It gets, Grassy Glide, which in its own terrain gets priority, and it gets that boost from grass type moves in grassy terrain. Very, very good Pokemon. Can run it banded, can run a Swords Dance Life Orb set because you are getting that recovery. The Life Orb isn't that much of a detriment to Rillaboom because you are getting that recovery every single turn from your own terrain. You can run Grassy Seed, prop your own Grassy Seed, give yourself a defense boost, and then bam, you've got a boosted acrobatics. So this thing is really strong. I really like it. And yeah, the only downside to Rillaboom, it can't really hit flying types, but it is what it is. You take the good with the bad. So look, thinking my next pick, I had some restricted Pokemon in mind. There were things that I was like, if this falls down to me, this falls down to me, this falls down to me. Things like Necrozma Duskmane, I was really hoping that would fall, but again, wishful thinking. Eternatus would have been another really good pair with Rillaboom. But again, it falling back down to me was very unlikely, and it didn't. So I got to my second pick. I knew what I was going to take for my restricted, but I knew I didn't have to take it because the top 3 picks were all restricted. So I was like, okay, what's another Pokemon that can pair well with the restricted that I'm going to take? And is something that would just fit the team. Is something I could feel comfortable bringing every single week. Good pair with Rillaboom. Good pair with my restricted. And overall, just a Pokemon I absolutely hate prepping against. So now that I don't have to do that, it's fantastic. That's Clefable. Clefable is very good. Fable gets moves like Follow Me. It gets Ally Switch, which is 2 very annoying moves in VGC. You can run Unaware, so you don't have to worry about your opponent's stat boosts. You can run Calm Mind. You can run Cosmic Power. So many good sets that your opponent has to prepare for every single week. Fable is a very, very good Pokemon. And again, like I said, I hate prepping against it. I absolutely hate prepping against this monster. Singles, VGC, it doesn't matter. I hate prepping against this thing. So now that so if I don't bring it to a single game, it's worth it because I don't have to prep against it. So that's fantastic. I love the idea of having this on my team. It can do so many things. And early draft, getting mons that can do a lot of different things is very, very important in my opinion. So next up, I was like, okay, there was a list of 3 restricteds. Whenever I took Rillaboom, I was like, these 3 are the 3 that I would most like to pair with Rillaboom. Obviously, Necrozma Duskmane didn't make it. Obviously, Eternatus didn't make it. So I went ahead and took my restricted next, and that is Dialga. Dialga is very, very strong. Steel Dragon is a very good typing. Dialga gets a lot of good coverage because, you know, Box Legend gets a lot of coverage. I know people view it as more of a special attacker, but it has a solid physical attack stat and a solid physical move pool. So if you want to bring it physical one day, you can. And it won't, and it's still put in a lot of work for you. Again, grassy terrain helps protect it, helps mitigate that ground weakness, gets it recovery every single turn. Also, I can run this thing bulky if I really, really want to. Typically not run bulky, but it can be run bulky offensive if you want bulky defensive. It's got the stats to do whatever you really want it to. Wish it was a little faster, but it is what it is. No Pokemon is perfect. And yeah, well, I'm looking forward to using this thing. So next, I was like, okay, I really want to get a bulky water, and I really want Tailwind. Now, smart me last season forgot there's a Pokemon that does both. It's a bulky water, and it can set Tailwind, and that's Suicune. We didn't forget this time around. We did not forget this season that Suicune gets Tailwind. So we knock out 2 needs here. We get our Fire, Water, Grass core 2/3 of the way done. We have a Fairy Dragon Steel. Technically, we have a Fairy Dragon Steel core already. I don't like it when one of those Pokemon is 2 types. I don't like it whenever you have one Pokemon be 2 types of your same core. I don't like that. But technically, you could say we have our Fairy Dragon Steel core. I'm also team roles over team types, whatever. Anyway, that's a different discussion for a different video. Suicune, very, very good. Like I said, bulky water, can be tough to break with its calm mindset. Gets Snarl, which is one of the better moves. If you watched our season last season, we had a bulky dog with Snarl last time too. In Arcanine, I think Arcanine is better than Suicune. In VGC specifically, just because Suicune doesn't get Will-O-Wisp and it doesn't get Intimidate. So, my opinion, Arcanine is better in VGC than Suicune, but Suicune is very good. Suicune is very good. Suicune can be a problem. Like I said, it can set Tailwind. It can Snarl. You can always grab yourself a nice little Scald Burn. Ice Beam is good too for coverage. Overall, it's a very good Pokemon. I'm pretty sure it gets Icy Wind as well for speed control. I could be wrong. I could 100% be wrong that it doesn't get Icy Wind. But yeah, overall, very, very good Pokemon. And after Suicune, I was thinking to myself, I really want to get a speed tier. I really want to get something with fast. I don't want to have to rely on priority and Tailwind to be fast. And that is why I went ahead and I took Weville. Weville is very fast. I believe it's somewhere between 125 and 135. It's either 125 or 135. I'm 99% sure. I've used Weville in singles before. Loved it. It kind of got a little bit of a nerf in Gen 8 because it lost knockoff, which is unfortunate, but a lot of mons lost knockoff in Gen 8 because no move tutor. But it is what it is. It also picks up Triple Axle, which, if you can hit it all 3 times, is a very good move. And another Fake Out user. I really like me some Fake Out. Obviously, I'm not running a Psychic Terrain team, so I'm not anti. I'm not worried about. I want priority this time around. You know, last time we had a Psychic Terrain team, I was not worried about my team having priority. This time, I am worried about my team having priority. Fake Out is one of the best moves in VGC. If you're able to potentially get your partner a free turn, then for setup, like something like Rillaboom or Fable, I can get them a free turn to setup. That's fantastic. Also, it gives me a dark type, which gives me a psychic immunity, and it gives me a ghost resist, which is something that you need whenever you're going to go against something like a Calyrex Shadow. You kind of have to have those things, otherwise it just kind of goes in on you. And that's what that thing can do. Another potential Life Orb user that likes to be in grassy terrain, because you're using that Life Orb in grassy terrain, you're not losing as much life a turn, which is really, really nice. Swords Dance is good. Throat Chop can be really, really good. It gets Brick Break, I believe, so you can break your opponent's screens, which is very nice. Also, it gets good coverage to hit things like fairies, like Poison Jab, and I believe it gets get Metal Claw or Iron Tail. Or Iron Head. It gets a Steel type. So next up, this was a Pokemon that was originally Raichu, but after the draft, I made 2 moves. I'll get into the other one when we get to that Pokemon. But this was originally Raichu, but it ended up becoming Volcarona. Volcarona, I have not used in a little while. I used it. It was on the LDL team. That kind of mini rain team. But Bugfire, very good typing. The weakness to rocks is unfortunate, but you don't have to worry about rocks in VGC. Not nearly as much, so you're not putting the Tims on them, every single week. You don't have to do that. It's Rage Powder for redirection. Redirection is very good. It gets Struggle Bug, which is just bug type Snarl. It gets Will-O-Wisp. It has Flame Body, so you have multiple ways to burn your opponent that are more reliable. Obviously, Will-O-Wisp is way more reliable than Flame Body, but you know what I mean. Reliable ways to burn, reliable ways to lower special attack. Also, a very, very, very good big setup threat. If this thing gets a Quiver Dance or 2 up, even though it doesn't have a lot of double target moves, aside from Struggle Bug, I'm gonna get a Struggle Bug kill. I have made up my mind. I'm getting a Struggle Bug kill this season. Anyway, it's still a very, very scary offensive threat if it gets set up. But very, very versatile. I love having this Pokemon back on the team. And yeah. So next up, I was like, you know what? I have the terrain. I'd really like to get something with Unburden. I didn't have a flying type. I didn't have a ghost type. So I was like, Driftblim. I think Driftblim fits the team pretty well. Gives me another Tailwind user. So if I'm going to bring this and Suicune in the same week, I don't have to bring Tailwind on Suicune if I don't want to. I can bring it on this. It gets Strength Sap, which is very, very good. It gets Will-O-Wisp, which is very, very good. Obviously, it gets Unburden, which is a great ability. Also gets Aftermath, which if a Pokemon hits you with a defensive move, with a physical move, you get a nice 325% off on them, which is very, very good. So you could bring a cheeky little Aftermath set. If you're playing against a team that's got a lot of physical attackers, you can bring Aftermath and get a nice bit of chip on one of their Pokemon. Overall, I'm excited about Driftblim. Could be fun. We'll see. I think it has a lot of utility options. I believe it gets either Wide Guard or Ally Switch. I believe it gets one of the two. I could be wrong. 99% sure it gets one of those two. But moving on, we have the other Pokemon that I traded for. This was originally Centiskorch. So I dropped Raichu and Centiskorch for Volcarona and Togedemaru. I feel like Togedemaru does everything I took Raichu to do, but just instead of being a tier 2, it's a tier 4. I wanted Lightning Rod. It gets Lightning Rod. I wanted Fake Out. It gets Fake Out. I wanted Nuzzle for speed control. It gets Nuzzle for speed control. Also, it gives me another Fairy Resist. Fairy Resists are very nice. It finishes out my Fairy Dragon Steel Core, because like I said, I don't like it when one Pokemon is treated as 2 parts of one of your cores. I just don't like that. This finishes out my Fairy Dragon Steel Core. Like I said, it gives me a Fairy Resist alongside Volcarona. It also has Sturdy. Sturdy is very, very nice. Sturdy is a very helpful ability. So if I don't want to bring Lightning Rod 1 week, but I want to bring it sturdy, if I really want to get a nuzzle off on something, I can bring it sturdy, get that nuzzle off. Or I can bring Iron Barbs, I can bring it bulky, I can bring Iron Barbs, and just get some chip down if things want to hit me on the physical side. You know, if you want to try to fake me out, well, okay, you're gonna take some damage. It is what it is. Overall, I think Togedemaru has a lot of good play. Zing Zap can potentially flinch. There's a lot of good things it can do, and I'm looking forward to trying it out. I feel like it's the team better than Raichu, and it's at about half the cost. So, yeah. Moving on, I was like, you know what? I don't have a ground type yet. I don't have a psychic type yet. I'm gonna go ahead and take both, and I went with Claydol. Claydol is a very good Pokemon. I think it fits this team pretty well. Ground psychic type. Unfortunately, it does not get the boosts, the extra recovery, I should say, from being in grassy terrain, which is kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Upside is it gets things like Light Screen and Reflect, which are very good. It also, I'll be attacking with ground type stab on the special side, so I don't have to worry about grassy terrain weakening my ground type moves. Overall, very, very good Pokemon. For the cost, I feel like it's very worth it. And also, Levitate is a very good ability in general. And I'm looking forward to trying this out. And next up, I was like, you know what? I don't have a Poison type yet. Poison type is a very good typing, kind of essential in VGC. And so I was like, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Drapion. Drapion is a solid Pokemon. One of the mons that didn't lose knockoff in Gen 8. Poison, like I said, very good typing. Poison Dark is an amazing defensive typing. Only has one weakness, and grassy terrain helps mitigate that weakness. Battle Armor, it also means it doesn't get crit, which is very good, especially whenever you're running up against the Urshifus. You know, the ability to not get crit, you know, and be able to switch into something like a Wicked Blow and be like, oh, you're not critting me. So that's one of the big perks of Wicked Blow. You know, as you saw what we did with a Scavalier last season against an Urshifu, you know, running a can't be crit set. So yeah, looking forward to using Drapion. Pretty cool, pretty fun, should be good. And for the last Pokemon, I was like, you know what? I don't have a rock type. I don't have a fighting type. I was thinking about taking Lycanroc Dusk. Just because I thought, you know, Excel Rock could be good. Stab Rock Slide could be good. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go a different way. I'm going to take another Unburdened user, and I went with Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee, pretty cool Pokemon. Another Fake Out user. I'll be Fake Out. It gives me access to Wide Guard, which is also very, very good. Like I said, Unburden, really good. So I can Fake Out. I can make a normal gem Fake Out. I can switch it on the terrain, get me a defense boost, and then I'm just fast as all you know what. And it gets a move called Coaching, Gen 8 move, so I can pass an attack and defense buff to one of my allies. You know, I'm gonna be really fast with my Unburden prop, which means I'm gonna be faster than pretty much anything on the field at double my speed. Also gets things like I said, Rock Slide, you know, high jump kick, close combat. You know, it can hit things really, really hard with good fighting stab. And yeah, so that is the team. We'll go over it really, really quickly. We have Rillaboom, Fable, Dialga, Suicune, Weville, Volcarona, Driftblim, Togedemaru, Claydol, Drapion, and Hitmonlee. Overall, I like the team. I think the team is good. I think it does everything that I would really want a team to do. I don't have anything necessarily broken or overpowered or anything, but I don't think there's a weak link on this team. Like last season, I had Stunfisk. Hey, Stunfisk, you're a good boy and you got me a kill. Okay, so I'm happy for you. But I feel like there's no Stunfisk on this team. There's no Pokemon on this team that I feel like, oh yeah, I have that. I feel like every one of these 11 Pokemon in any given week can be very, very good. And I think, and so I think that's very, very important. I also love that I don't have an electric type that's weak to water. It's also very good. I feel like I'm crapping on Stunfisk. I'm sorry, Stunfisk. But overall, I think this team is very good. Do I think we can win it with this team? Maybe. There's a lot of scary teams this time around. A lot of scary teams this time around. I don't think I'm one of the 3 or 4 best teams in the league this season. I really don't. There's just so many scary teams out there in this league this time around. And I think it just goes to show the level of competition here. And the fact that, everyone now has a full season of VGC draft under their belt. So they understand what they're looking for. When you take someone who's a very talented singles player, that doesn't always translate to VGCs, because they're very different game modes. And so, but now that you have these very talented singles players who have played a season of VGC and they know what to look for now, they're not looking at it from a singles player's perspective. They're looking at it from a VGC perspective. It's very scary. And the draft has reflected that, I feel like. The draft has very, very, very strongly reflected that. And it's going to be very hard to win this season. It's going to be very hard to win this season. I think the team's good. I think we have a shot. I think we play really well. We have a shot. But it's going to be rough. The YCL VGC League is going to be... The winner of this league is going to be able to say they really won something. This league is strong, I feel like. And I'm really looking forward to playing. So that will do it for me today. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you guys are looking forward to the YCL VGC Season 2 content just as much as I'm excited to bring it to you guys. Wish us luck. Thank you guys very much for watching. Have a good one.